Hello Internet and welcome to a slightly unexpected Space Engineers. So, today you may have noticed the Warfare 2 update Broadside just went live. So I figured I'd do a little video exploring it, looking into it. I was actually already filming episodes for Adventures in Space when it was going live, so I was like, we'll just do a video on this too while we're at it. So, I saw a teeny little bit of the live stream, kind of after the fact. Just enough to know there are some interesting things I want to toy around with. But I guess I'll first start off. We'll go with this. So this is the image of all the different things that have been added straight from Keen's website and their videos and whatnot. So, figured we'd take a look at this. Left side shows what you get for free, right side is what's in the DLC pack. And it's something that... So, for those of you who are in the community, have been around a while, you know that DLC in Space Engineers is always a source of grumpiness for people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally am of the opinion, I think Keen does it the best out of any other company that does DLCs. They keep it at a consistent, relatively low price. They provide good content in it. You don't need it to enjoy the game. Stuff that they add, generally speaking, you can always do in other ways. I think they've done a very good job. That said, and I've not toyed around with any of this. I've not purchased the DLC yet myself either. I probably will. But I'm not a huge fan of this pack in particular, for a couple reasons. So, if I kind of guide your attention on the right hand side of the screen, the middle row, there is the searchlight. That is a targetable, movable light that works like a turret. Super awesome, something people have wanted for, well, I don't even know if wanted, something people have had the thought of and enjoyed the thought of for a long while. Something you can do already in the game using rotors and pistons and whatnot. You could even make it track stuff with a remote block and stuff like that. And there is something they've added that would make doing all that and making it track stuff easier. So conceptually, this is something that you could do before. Yeah, or something you can do in vanilla without buying the pack. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is that this one works like a turret. It is a single block, I assume, based on what they said in the live stream, I guess. It is a single block, works like a turret. You can look around with it. That's great. But that means it's intrinsically better than a rotor-mounted thing, because the rotor-mounted things, even with the updates they've done, can still cause issues and phantom forces and whatnot. They still are not as stable in the game as, say, a turret where it counts as one block and can just be directional. So, that's a little bit of a bummer. The fact that that's something that doesn't exist for vanilla players, and it's something that it conceivably could give an advantage to a non-vanilla player. The only other thing, and this is less of an advantage and more just like, I really hoped that this was going to be in the main release, is the helm block, the sort of standing cockpit. This is in no way a benefit to, DLC buyers over vanilla players, so I think it's fine as a thing. I just really wanted it and was hoping it would be free. But, Keen does have to make their money. They need to be able to afford to keep updating the game, so really it's a fair trade to get a couple things. And even with the spotlight, I don't think it's a huge upset that it is in the game. It's not really super critically important, and there are some other changes they've done, some very drastic big changes that probably mean it's not as useful and sort of game improving as I would think from my past experience. So, that's a little bit on that. Now, the left-hand side of your screen, there's a bunch of fun stuff I want to toy with. So let's get back in. Gonna hit new game. Something I did notice. So in the custom games, there is a new custom game that I assume, it's called Asteroid Armory. I assume it's the world that they used for the video stuff. For their announcement video, little cutscene that they put together. So I don't quite know what's happening here. What we're gonna do though, I'm gonna go into creative. Let's name this Broadside update video, just so I know in the future what the heck this save is. Do I want to... I guess this is something to check if there's anything changed here. I don't think there was. Oh! No, there is some things. We now have a slider for the amount of animal NPCs. That's interesting. So I wonder if they've adjusted the animal NPCs at all. I may have to pop down to a planet and check that out. That's neat. Still have block limits. I can't remember. I think these sliders were here before. I'm so used to just popping in here, hitting total PCU and cranking it to max and not looking at anything else. I don't know if these were always set to disabled by default, but that sounds good. So, nothing much. I'll turn on in-game scripts just in case. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Well, that may be a world-specific feature that progression's off by default. But I do enjoy that because the progression is not great. Is there anything else? Spectator, I want. Yeah, everything else looks good. Okay. Let's load in and see what I can play with. So, the bright side about this, there's a good chance that this world will have some of those DLC blocks in it. Even though I won't be able to build them, I can at least look at them. Okay. Hopefully this isn't like a scripted scenario type of situation. My guess is this is an updated, what's that called? The version of the game where you have like two teams on two platforms, the rival platforms. I think that's what it was called. This might be an updated version of that, where you have two bases and you can attack each other. This looks lovely. So we can already see these are some of the DLC windows that are sort of slanted and have a table. I do like that. They work well with the table. Yeah. I'm stuck on a chair. That's a good start. Nothing new. Looking there. More windows. I can see those are those turret spotlights. So that's cool. So it has the turret AI, so it'll just track randomly if you want. I bet there's a way to turn that off so that you can direct it, so you could have a directed spotlight, but this is nice. I like how they've done this. These glowing... See, so these emissive blocks, they're in the DLC. I really like the concept. I don't think they're super critical, but just having something... I assume how they work. Let's see if I can wrangle my way in there. No, I can't. Do I have tools? I'm in creative mode, so I can control the world to my liking. No, that's too powerful. Is this... Yeah, so it's not interactable. It looks like it's just an emissive panel. Sort of like how the lights work, where they're just emissive, colorable, but you don't like set them through the console. They're just kind of... They just kind of exist. I like that. Pop that down just to kind of ease if I want to go look at those more. I like how much light they put off too, especially with the white. That works well. Okay. What do we have? More, nothing much. There's another level up there, but got the toilet, very important. Yeah, is there anything? Nothing new up here, really. Let's see. This looks like it's going out to the exterior. Oh, this is the new door. And this is the new cockpit. See, so you can stand here, and it's like you're driving the ship standing up. Ah, I love that. So I'm probably gonna buy it. That's nice. I like that a lot. Just little things. The one thing that the DLCs do, they add a lot more variety. They let you do all the cool decorative stuff you want to do. And that is something in a building game like this. That is something that's a little hard to just be like, no, actually you aren't allowed to build with that until, there's a DLC fee with each little interval. But again, stipulating that with the DLCs are like at full price, they're like 350 USD. That's very, very cheap. There aren't a ton of them, and they generally go on sale every sale, so you can get them for like $275. So really, I think it's a fair balance. I do like these. So I guess so it's a 2-block wide deal that's 1 block deep to allow that to go in. That's fair. Nothing too fancy. It's a pretty standard airlock. Oh, is that the refinery? Or the assembler? So these were in the Machineries DLC or whatever that was. Oh, that's funny. I wonder. No. No, because this side was always open. There was one on this side, a rail that meant you couldn't get through. But I think that was so that you could get through onto this thing. But, yeah, okay. Was there anything else? It's very dense in here. I want to see all the things. Especially because it means I can easily talk about... Oh, that's smart. I was like, oh, where are the railings on this stair? They inverted it so that... these clever fellas they get. And lady fellas. I don't know who designs these. That looks normal. We'll get to this in a second. Yeah, this is all just stuff. What is... Oh, I think this is one of the new batteries. I should have a... Let's give me a welder to be able to poke things. Yeah. It's a new battery that's not fully built, which is interesting. I guess they add challenge for you. Okay. Now this looks fun. Oh, that's exciting. I didn't know they'd do this for sure. So they have small grid railguns. That's nice. Okay, and they have superconductors. I figured this is what these would be, is a super high, like, end game, you need expensive stuff type of weapon. And it uses a specific ammo. Now what is... Oh, now this is something I saw that really got me excited. This is a custom turret control block. Okay. I have no idea how any of this works. Ooh. Oh, so you can set... These are rotation velocity multipliers. Okay, so you could assign rotors to do the angles. You can give it a camera. Basically, this is a specialty sort of... It's like a remote control block, but specialty for building turrets. Oh, so it shows the weapons. You can... Oh, this is exciting. Uh, oh, it won't let me control it on its own. This is super cool. Look at all the stuff it can do. And yeah, so it has, so you can enable AI, so I betcha. Will it start twitching? Uh, oh, you can turn the turrets on to target friends. That's cool. Target options. Some of this is changed for all turrets, so that'll be something to learn. Oh, these are the targeting options. So this was something they did for all turrets where you can set their default. So say you want your turrets to only attack weapons, you can tell them to, and you can do this from a button on a hotbar. Okay, let's disable AI. So it looks... Oh, so that's just all weapons on the base. You can add them to... Okay. That's how, so like you'd select it, hit add, and it'll appear down there. They've done that before. I don't want to adjust anything. I'm just curious what's on here. Okay. So I believe if I get in control... Okay, so what is... Test turret control. Yeah, so I'm now operating the turret like a turret. And I'm having to really yaw the mouse around to get it to move, but this looks good. I'm curious how well these will perform on a grid. Because that's always been the issue with rotor turrets and anything rotor-based, is when it's moving on a grid that can move, things tend to squiggle. But they may have adjusted some of that. Now, I believe if I click... That's good fun. Okay. They're out of bullets, I guess. That's fine. Are you... No, they have some more. Maybe they just have a reload time that it's not showing me. I like that this is good for small and large grid too. That gives you a lot of options. There it goes. Look at that. And I think it's actually doing voxel damage, if I'm right. Yeah, it must just have a cooldown. That makes sense, given what it is. Hold on, let me fire at the corner. Oh, there goes one. Yeah, I think it's doing voxel damage. That's neat. I like that these are on small grid as well. That gives you options and kind of... I like having more options as a player, even if some of them maybe are a little cheaty. Like now you can just have a, you know, you can have a small grid railgun battleship that'll fire like 8 of them. You know, as long as the block components are kind of balanced and all that stuff, I think that's fine. It lets players try things. Okay. Well, that's good fun. What else is going on in here? Oh, we've got a... this is an exit if you don't want to open the door. So these are new hangar blast doors. So you've got some sort of decorative option now. These are also DLC, I believe. You can have ones with windows. You can have them... Look, I'm not... Let's open them and see. I'm not a huge fan of their design. That's always the kind of... let's just use the stairs. That's always kind of the case with the new stuff that gets added. Some stuff I really like the design of. Some stuff I'm a little less sold on. And it just kind of comes down to, you know, personal preference. But, again, having it is what's important, because someone will look at these and be like, yes, that's exactly what I need for this. Oh yeah, just a standard door. They aren't super flush. That's a little bit of a bummer, having that bump, because the other ones are flush to the block they're on, I believe. Let's do some testing. Yeah, see, there's no lip when I walk over that, whereas there is one there. But that's not a huge deal. They are the same length. Now, there's one thing that would be nice if we had longer ones, but that's harder to put on. Okay. Yeah, these I like. The spotlight turrets. Just having that, I mean, the effect it has of just a little light moving around. You can imagine like a mining scow floating through an asteroid field, just seeing lights pass across asteroids. That's super cool. And so they said that these work as turrets as well, which would mean they're turret controllable. Let's see. Spot. No, what are they called? What are you? Searchlight, not spotlight. Yeah. Or like just having a bunch of them around your base scanning the sky. Yeah. Searchlight entrance 1. Yeah, so it's got the normal stuff of turret controls and of light controls. That's cool. Target locking. Oh, right. So that's what's happened. One of the things that have been added is a sort of targeting and target locking system to better control your turrets. So you can have your turrets set up so that they will target, or maybe they're always set up to target whatever ship you've selected. So even if you like a smaller ship passed in front, they'll continue targeting the big ship behind it if you've targeted it. I think is how that works. But I think there must not be an antenna on this base because I can't control things. But I assume you can control it like a turret, so you could point it at things and whatnot. Okay, these are fun. These are the industrial cargo and whatnot blocks. Oh, okay, here is one of the new turrets. Looking commanding. Ooh, there's a ship. Let's, what do I want to... There's so much to see here. What's this? Oh. Oh, this is one of the new reactors. So this is also DLC. Yeah, large warfare reactor. Got a spotlight. I do like how they've embraced having some round things as well. With the pipes, even though they're DLC based. They add something fun. So yeah. So I assume this is just... Yeah, it's just a normal reactor. It doesn't have quite as many cargo ports. Though maybe it does. It's hard to know. There's one up there. There's one along the back. Actually... No. This is the block. Those are connected in to blocks under it. So it's probably got one on the bottom, one on the back, and one on the top. But that's fine. Let's hop up here. See, this is... Half the fun is just exploring all these little nooks and crannies. Look, there's some sort of control station. These are... Yeah, so these are the large grid variant of the custom turret controller, which you can set up so you can build large grid turrets as well. I don't know. I assume these have to be placed on the turret, but I don't know. In fact, actually, maybe not. Because you set the rotors, you assign the camera. I don't know. That might be something I test here in a minute. But, yeah, that's interesting. What's going on out here, since it looked like that other way was the way to go? Okay, so there's an artillery gun. Moving its way about. I do like how slow they seem to be. I'd love to be able to get in control of one so I could try it out, but we'll do that in a minute. We've got a fighter, which again has... Yeah, so an autocannon. I do like that the... I think I've said it already. I like that they've added pretty much all the new weapons for large and small grid. If I go and find wherever weapons live. Yeah. So if just looking up in the upper right, so you've got a bunch of new turrets and a bunch of new small grids. So you can build a ship with sort of the whole array of weapons available. I just like the idea of having like a, like a World War II fighter where it had the, whatever, machine guns in the wings, then you'd have like a cannon in the nose that can do more damage. I think that's fun. I just love it. I'm excited to death by the fact that we have more than just rockets and Gatling guns now. Even if it's functionally no different, having the flavor of, different types of weapons with different noises and different ammos flying around, that just makes so much more, it just makes it feel so much more real. So much more like a game that's like, built around combat and fighting. Which Space Engineers really isn't, but I don't know, I'm excited. Makes me happy. We'll not mess with that little thingy though. Let's go out the back, see if there's anything new to see here. So there's another airlock. Now this is just a little flight control. Pretty standard. Yeah, and so the red frigate, I bet you the red base is over in that asteroid. And then you, combat each other. Let's hop aboard this bad boy. It's already got a lot going on. I do like, too, let's just pop out, because they kind of go with a theme. This is very much just a beefed up version of the blue ship that's been a Space Engineer's default for forever. I like what they've done with it. Got this fun little shieldy bit. New thrusters, new turrets. Don't think we need to... I think we've seen most of the new little blocks that I can't build. Let's float off a little bit. Let's do some testing of our own. So, spawn in here. There you are. Through my various list of things. Okay. Good old yellow submarine. Which the metallic looks... Where's the sun? There it is. Okay, from that angle it looks a little more normal. I wonder if this is normal for, oh, there's some battle damage. That'd be from that weird base thing. Oh, that you don't know about, so, haha, that's a little spoiler for later. Yeah. So I don't know if the metallic texture's changed, or if it's just because I'm not on a planet. Definitely looks a lot darker. It's also always possible that something got made silly in how the lighting engine works that wasn't intentional. Because some stuff like the grading LOD for the textures clearly wrong. This is, I should say, well, it's being recorded on the day it was released because I plan on releasing it on YouTube the day it was released, so that should be pretty obvious. But there are some things that are probably incorrect and that will change in the future. So, let's get those and those. We'll just see what we can see. So we've got the standard Gatling and missile. Then we have the artillery turret, which is the 2 fella. We have an assault cannon turret, which is different. Interior turret. Okay. So in terms of new turrets, it's only artillery and assault cannon. My guess is artillery cannon is heavy and fires explosive rounds. Assault cannon is slightly heavier caliber than a Gatling gun, but fires them slower probably. So let's go ahead. We'll fit an assault cannon up there and an artillery there. Now that's pretty... Well, no, it's 3x3x3. So that's the same as a normal turret. This one's only 3x3x2. What is a normal turret? Yeah, 3x3x3. It's okay. So that's nice. So these are actually slightly smaller than a Gatling gun. Okay. I keep forgetting there's no gravity on this ship because it was never actually meant to go to space. I just forced it to. We also have very little fuel. Goody. Okay. So. Turrets. Let's try... Yeah, let's try an assault turret first. So, one thing they have changed is aiming radius. No, it was always 800, wasn't it? It defaults to 600. It's been that way forever. Never mind me. The things they have changed are the target locking and targeting options. So, oh yeah, so there it is. That circle around the blue ship is kind of a targeting indicator. So if I'm looking at it, this is the worst ship to do it in because I don't have a cockpit I can see out of. So presumably I can, if it's, I guess, appearing, then I can lock to it. Oh, I hit right click and I've locked targets. Okay. Interesting. We may have to try it with the red frigate, though unfortunately the red frigates, I may spawn in something without guns to do some dry firing on to test this. But for now, let's get our assault cannon turret control. Okay. So you really have to, I'm having to pick up and move my mouse to traverse it, but that's fine. Oh, so I can look at it, right click, and now it's got a second circle, which means it's targeted. Right click again, it untargets. Let's see what this do. Okay. Boomy. So fires 2 shots, reloads. That's fair. Let's see what it does to that. Oh. Yeah, come on. What is... Hold on a minute. Oh, that's the ammo from in that turret. It's like, why is there just ammo floating? Okay, so that's where I hit. And it did a couple blocks of damage. Actually, I shouldn't be targeting that. What I should do... Let's do a light armor. We'll do it over here. I want it square to each gun. I'm just gonna make a big ol'... Nope. A big ol' wall. Looks very much like the Death Star. Where is... That's what I want. So, slap one of these on. I can convert it to a station. So now I'll have a flat test bed. I can fire both cannons and see the effect, the comparative effects. I can also use one of my Gatlings to indicate them. Okay. So, assault cannon, control. There's the target. Aiming dead center with this one. Okay. 2 hits. Looks like it takes out the block it hits. Oh, I should put... Okay, I'm gonna change it again. I want to put layers because I'm curious if they have a penetration effect. So, we'll do a layer. Oh, try not to blow up my computer too badly, and a layer. So. Ow. Get in the cockpit. Assault cannon control. So, dead center, a single click of the mouse does that. Okay, so it didn't penetrate that time. I don't know... I doubt they did something where, like, multiple layers of armor make the armor harder to penetrate. That would be awesome if they did, and they could have. But we'll just assume for now that a single shot doesn't penetrate. It doesn't matter so much because it's comparative for the other 2 turrets, so... That was the assault cannon. Let's play with the artillery cannon now. Similar speed to rotate, maybe a little slower. We'll aim to the left. And... Ooh, bassy. Okay. Hard to tell from here. The first one may have penetrated, getting that other angle. And then we'll just use... I don't know which one's on which side. Oh. I just tried to move it like I was moving the other ones and I just whipped it around. This is the wrong turret. Okay. They're both called Turret 5. There we go. So, that side, 1 click, next to nothing. I'm on the sideways. I guess I should have used a rocket as well. Let's just slap a... Oh, hello, friend. Right. You are not the one I need. Turrets. Just slap a missile turret on here. I should be able to remote control this because I have an antenna, but it's not on because of reavers in the normal world. Okay. You control, pick a spot I didn't already shoot. We'll go with the side that the bullet... Well, you can see, so that's what the bullet did. 1 little tank. 1 rocket. Does that much, but did not penetrate. Okay, so the artillery gun penetrated and did a bit of deformation. The other one also penetrated. Let's see... Oh. Oh. Yeah, it penetrated all right. Okay, well, there's my answer. So, the assault cannon is sort of just a heavier hitting gun, probably a replacement for a missile. It has armor-piercing capabilities. So a missile didn't even destroy a block. I may not have hit a block directly, so that could have been part of the issue, but missile does a bunch of general damage. Gatling gun, very little damage. Artillery, assault cannon will do a block's worth of damage. So you can use that as kind of, it'll pierce the armor and penetrate the ship, but won't go deep. The artillery cannon, it removes things. Now I'm curious. So those are all the new turrets and the old turrets. What can I... Okay, so I can build a fixed artillery gun in large grid on a large ship. So that's neat. I bet what you can do with this is it allows you to make like 3-gun turrets or even 6-gun turrets if you wanted. Using the new turret control block, and you can do that for large grid. I assume that you can do one of these on small grid, but maybe not. Maybe small grid's version is the assault cannon that was on that little fighter. I assume this does the same as the turret, just placeable. So, let's sling underneath, give ourselves a chin, and let's see what this artillery cannon can do. I'll make a new panel. Over here. Yep. Okay. New panel. Land on the deck. Walk awkwardly around the side. Let's put... So what do you have? So it's just shoot, shoot on off, shoot once. And then I can use it as a block weapon. Okay, so that part's same as it's ever been. Let's maneuver into position on the new section. Turn that off. Raise ourselves. Actually, okay, so you do still have the little laser indicator. So that's handy. So, in 3, 2, 1... Huh. That's neat. Let's see what it did. It looked like whatever the goop was kind of continued on for quite some ways. Yeah, so it just went straight through as well. Oh, it actually took out 2 blocks back here. I bet you how one of the main differentiators here is the depth of penetration. So let's try... I'll add a 4th layer up here. Let's see if the artillery cannon pierces it. Because I bet you the energy cannon, so 5. So, let's see how deep the artillery cannon can go. I bet you this one will just kind of go. It can probably do like an absurd amount, to the point that it's supposed to just cut through ships. Turret, assault cannon, artillery cannon. Have to waggle my mouse around. But this is good. These should be slow aiming. You know, you shouldn't be able to whip these around. And I bet you the AI can't whip them around either. So. 1 hit. Did it go as the smoke clears? That looks like it may have gone through. Even 5. Dang. This is light armor, so... yeah, I don't know what that affects. Oh yeah. It went straight through 5 light armor sheets. Well, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, this fella knows his business. Okay, that's fun. Let's do some. What do I have that's small grid that I want to use? Unfortunately, all the things I've built in my series that are small grid are atmospheric. All the fighters and whatnots. Yeah. Uh, we could slap it on an RV. This doesn't feel quite right, but sure. Let's see what they look like on here. Okay. So on this... Okay, no. I was like, why is it giving me the Warfare rocket launcher? I don't own that DLC. I can't place it. It just lets me see it. So I've got the normal Gatling. Maybe we'll just kind of... I don't have a ton of... This isn't designed as a fighter. Here, we'll put him under the bumper. So, normal Gatling. Then we have the autocannon. Okay, so we do have an... Oh no, the autocannon is something else. So we've got an autocannon, which we don't have in large grid. We have an assault cannon, which is the smaller of the large grid turrets. And then we have a small grid Mac cannon, which we already saw it do. Well, no, we'll keep it. We'll keep it so I can do a similar comparison. Okay. We'll do this against large grid as well, I think. We'll go over to the far end. So, yeah, this ship that is not a fighter. The thrusters aren't even on. Okay. Is that everything else it needs? Those are the lights. I don't think we need lights. Yeah. That should be... What is 8? No. 8's the ignition. It's already running. That should be good then. So, Control 2. Weapons. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like just from the amount of ammo they hold, the Gatling gun is just standard. It looks like the autocannon is a little bit more, probably higher firepower, lower rounds per minute. It's sort of your heavy assault cannon. Well, your heavy cannon on like a fighter. The assault cannon is probably intended for like tanks or, you know, various other things to build on like small grid turrets on maybe a larger ship. And the railgun's just fun. So let's actually, I will turn on lights so we can... God, the lights on this are bright. We'll go down here and this should help us see kind of what's happening. So, let's... Just the Gatling gun. Yeah, does a little bit of damage. Standard spin up and all that. So the autocannon does that. Assault cannon, it does that, and it has some kickback to it. That is something they talked about. I like that the heavy weapons have kickback, especially on smaller vehicles. That gives it a little bit of fun. And it means you can't just be firing. I betcha on a large ship, if you have a whole barrage of artillery cannons fire at once, it'll like rock the ship. Unless you have really strong gyros or whatnot. Okay. Rail cannon. Yeah. In fact, let's... Oh, yeah, weapon is only 16% charged. How fast can I fire this? So this is the assault cannon. It's reloading. Okay, that's that fast. This, I bet you, is... Okay, so that's just holding it down. And it does get through... Here. We'll aim over here. Okay. So, this one, the autocannon gets through block in 5 shots. Gatling gun... Well, I didn't count those bullets, but takes a lot longer. So this one is heavier duty, but harder to aim because, it fires slower. So that's nice. That adds some variety. You can kind of lay down covering fire with your Gatling guns. That can be your sort of primary defensive fire. Try and take down other fighters. And then if you get locked in on someone, you switch to your autocannon and take them out. Because I bet you on small grid this'll penetrate and do some heavy damage. So, the railgun, I'm curious. I'm going to test here and see... Actually, here's an idea. Let's see how far this can penetrate. We'll aim at the blue ship in the back just to see if we can get it through an insane amount of armor. This is the small grid one. But I'm also curious to watch the power draw. So. Okay. Good hit, and my power goes up. So it looks like the railgun, see if I click it again, it's only 50% charged. It looks to operate sort of like a jump drive, where you fire it and then it has to charge up to fire again. Oh, it only penetrated maybe 5 blocks in. Really curious now. I want to try that with the large grid one. This will be a good way to test the railgun versus autocannon thing as well. Oh, and we can see, so since I have these 2 grids now, so the closest one, it's giving me the option to target. I don't seem to... Let me see. We'll use the nose turret because it's quick. Yeah, so from a turret, if I look at that one versus that one, I can switch my target. So even though this ship is closer, I could say I want to target that ship instead. And that should, if I do that, any of my turrets would attack that ship instead of this one, even though this one's closer. So, that's not what we're here to do. What we're here to do is attempt to aim a Mac cannon through that. I think if it goes all the way through, that should hit the blue ship. So let's see. Okay, I don't think it went all the way through. It does look cool with the little burst of energy. And I like that it has a energy draw. It means it's kind of a different dynamic to how the other weapons work. How... Oh. It sure does get in there, though. That's... God, how many... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll say like it's almost 30 blocks that it can penetrate of light armor. That's pretty darn good. I'm pretty sure that could bisect most things. That means you could use it as sort of the target killer. If you figure out where someone's reactors or something are, you just shoot straight through their ship. Let's try our artillery turret now. Swing it around. See how far it penetrates. That may not have been perfect because I think it was a grazing blow. But okay, so it'll go through 5 blocks of light armor. The other one will go much further. Yeah, that's fun. That gives you a lot of options when it comes to what you can do, and it gives you a progression. Because that's one of the biggest things that, well, space engineers in general needs is building progression to where you want to, you want these things. So I think this does it well, because this, what did it take? Yeah, so it takes a bunch of superconductor components, a bunch of power cells, so it's up there with having a reactor, or not reactor, having a jump drive, and seems to have similar requirements for power and all that. This is more normal, as is this. These are just normal turret kind of components. Do I have an assembler on this thing? I can't remember. No, just the survival kit. I'm going to build an assembler real quick because I want to see... I'm curious about the ammunition. Because one of the biggest issues with Space Engineers combat was that missiles require uranium and platinum, which means they're very late game items. Well past having a jump drive. It just kind of makes them useless. You know, they're very handy, but by the time you have them, you're probably not in a situation where you really need them. That's a good assembler spot. Okay. So, ammunition. Artillery shell, assault cannon shell. Oh, okay, so that's the autocannon magazine. Yeah. Okay, so for the Railgun Sabot, you need uranium. That's fair because that's an in-game weapon. Artillery shell also needs uranium, to a very small amount, but I'm not a huge fan of that, just because that should be the mid-game heavy-hitting weapon. That should be like cobalt locked or something, where, you should still be able to build that when you're on a planet, in my opinion. Okay, the assault cannon only uses magnesium, though. And I guess to be fair, this is a lot cheaper than the railgun, comparatively, so you make a lot more. So maybe they are both late game weapons for a late game heavy battleship. That could be alright. Considering you have the assault cannon, which is kind of similar, still heavy hitting, still does some piercing damage. Okay, and the autocannon only takes magnesium as well. So that's good. All of them are just variants on ammo that already exists. Yeah, having a little bit of uranium and platinum in a missile. It's not very much, but it means that you have to have a source of it. And in a vanilla world, on a planet, starting out, you don't. You'd have to get to asteroids and find them, or the moon for platinum. You'd have to do both. Which, I don't know. Personally, I think uranium should be available, at least on some planets, maybe very rarely. But it's their game to balance. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. And I guess that's the meta as it is. You have this assault cannon, which you can use. You can arm up your ship to have some heavier hitting firepower. It's not super powerful like this one, but it's also smaller. You can pack some more in. It's a little cheaper ammo. So it's just a heavier hitting option for mid-game. Late game, you can upgrade to these bad boys and a Mac cannon or two. Yeah, that should be alright. I think that is fine and good. Now, I'm just desperately curious. Okay, Mac cannon aligned. Let's turn off that. Okay. It's got some force to it. I like that it actually applies a force to what it hits. That's nice. I feel like weapons and Space Engineers haven't done that before. Let's catch up with the floating remains. Yeah. Yeah, that did a number. That is... They are not getting the deposit back on that RV. Huh. So that's fun. So if you manage to hit a small grid ship with a Mac cannon, it's going to be a bad day for that small grid ship. One thing I'm excited about is to see these implemented into things like the modular encounter system set of ships and like the assault ships and bases. I want to engage other things where these are firing at me and they add something to it. I like that they're slower firing, the new ones, because it means Gatling guns are still good for point defense and are still maybe a little overpowered because they can still go out to 800 meters. But I like that, you know, if the ship is designed with the intent of it being a target that can be attacked, I like that maybe some of these will make it hard-hitting and dangerous, but still approachable. You know, something like this, it's not fast enough firing. You could still dodge it if you're careful, but if it hits you, it's going to be a lot worse. I like that. And if you're attacking with a large ship, it actually gives some validity to fighters because you're more nimble and can dodge the heavy rounds as opposed to just having to take them. Whereas missile turrets and Gatling turrets cannot. I am curious. I didn't notice when I was testing it. Hopefully that doesn't make anyone too sick. I'm curious if the missile turrets still move at... Yeah, they're still just as quick. That's a bummer. I don't know how the new AI works and how it will affect, how AI NPCs can attack you. So that might be something where maybe it's not as accurate, or... I don't know. I don't know how to test that here. Actually, I do know. Let's set all these... Oh, come on. It's so hard to operate without gravity. Okay. Actually, no. I'll just do this. untargetable. Yeah, we'll stay vulnerable. So now... Ooh, I can... Hold on. Get rid of that. Hopefully this doesn't go too quick. If I select you... Yep, make sure I've selected all of you. And I can't do it like that. Up to there. Transfer to Space Pirates. Yeah. Now that's chaos. So it's just the turrets. That's normal. Ooh, those are some heavy hits from something on there. Artillery gun or something. It's doing a fair number to the blue ship. Oh, that's that artillery gun there. God, I'm curious. Ah, it shredded this nacelle, but I didn't set these up to target anything specific. Oh, Jesus. On. It gets rocked around when it gets hit. Oh, there goes that. Oh, it's propelling. Oh, I've lost a nacelle. The explosions are propelling it away. That's wild. Let's go see it from this angle. It's done a number on this ship. Here, where are they? Oh. Wow. That's fun. I like the heavy hitting. Heavy hitting munitions. That adds some character. Oh. We've extended beyond their range. Something as well. I've lost the antenna over there, so I can't tell. Curious. Or no, because the auto-targeting goes out to 800. So the actual munitions, if I'm right, they go much further. Up to... At least I think the Mac cannon's supposed to go up to 2 kilometers. I don't know on the others. What's left operating over here? Not much. We still have that gun. Do I still have anything inside? Oh yeah. There's a little bit more air in here than I remember, but... Oh, and I can't get in. That's right. Huh. Yeah, that's fun. So, yeah. This has been a decently long... This is like a full-length episode just looking at this stuff. I think what I may do... Actually, I should be on my ship. Yeah, I may leave this here. There's definitely a lot of fun that can be had here. There's a lot of new entertaining things. I bet you there's a lot you can do with making your own turrets seems awesome. The sort of designating turrets to target specific things. I'll have to play around with that because I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm sure, I mean, I'm making this as at the same time I'm sure 1,000 other people are making videos, so I'm sure you'll be able to see it there as well. I saw it come out and I was like, I feel like I need to experience and explore this firsthand. And because it's what I do with my time, I figured I'd film it while I do. So yeah. Thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll be back with more regularly scheduled Space Engineer content coming up. What day is it? Well, it'll come out on Sunday regardless. So this Sunday and other Sundays in the future probably. So yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Feel free to check out any of the other stuff I have done. And until next time, bye-bye.